The highs, the lows of 2023.
Hard to believe that the season is over, the year is over, but there's one thing that always happens every year, and that is so many memories made, moments made, whether they're good, whether they're bad. We're gonna talk about our favorite and least favorite moments from the season. All right, how about one of your high moments of 2023?
I think starting off the year 2023, we had a high with Colin. He came to Austin and we all ran the 3M half marathon. And I think that was probably the most fun I've ever had running a half marathon.
Yeah, there was bacon and beer and donut holes, and I don't know what all you all engaged in on the run course, but there was a lot of food. It was literally a running buffet. All right, so one of my high moments had to be, of course, getting that world slot in Chattanooga. Even though it wasn't the best performance for me, I didn't quite hit my goal, I was still able to sneak out a berth to go to Finland, and that was the goal going into the season. So regardless whether or not what the time was on the day, I was able to get that paper and eventually get the coin and punch my ticket to Finland.
I was definitely so stoked to see Colin and Tiffany get that coin, but I did not get that coin, and that was probably my lowest low of the year. Just how I could be so ecstatic for the both of them, but yet so disappointed in my performance, and to be, I think I was only 6 minutes away from the person that got the last slot. Just being so devastated at the fact that that should have been my coin. Definitely the low of 2023.
I'll go ahead and say that was my low as well, because I got my slot first because they did my age group prior to doing yours. And you know, when you're sitting there and they're going through the roll down and you're waiting in anticipation and you feel pretty decent about your chances, you know, hopeful at least. And then it goes and goes and goes, and then you're standing there, you're kind of just left standing there, and then my heart just sank, and you know, I couldn't enjoy it really, truly getting my slot from that point, because I knew that I wasn't gonna have you racing beside me in Finland, and that's not what this is about. Of course, we knew going in, there's always a chance that one of us might get a slot and one of us won't. I never thought I would be the one that would get it and she wouldn't, but that's how it played out. And it was a pretty tough time, and it was a pretty emotional,
it was a rough 24 hours.
Quiet drive home as well. But on that drive home, I had an epiphany, and that turned out to be one of the high points of the season.
It did, it actually did. 20 days after Chattanooga 70.3, I am on the start line to 70.3 Boulder, and I had a stellar race. It may not have been my fastest race of 2023, but it was my best performance. And also, having done it at altitude, it was a hell of a performance for me that I think was my proudest moment of 2023. And I thought we would be going to slot allocations just after finishing the race, but then came a thunderstorm that never actually came. So I had to wait a whole month to find out if I got that slot or not. So high note, low note, high note, got the coin. Didn't get the physical coin, but I got the slot email. And that leads us to Finland. Every moment of Finland is absolutely a high. I can't think of one low that came from Finland. I honestly cannot.
Everything about Finland was amazing, and still sharing the stories and sharing the memories and looking back at the photos and looking back at the videos. I still tell people to this day that Finland seems like a mythical place. Even though we were actually there, it seems so mythical because everything was pristine and beautiful, and everyone was friendly, and it just made us feel so welcome. And then to add on a world championship 70.3 race to all of that, it was just the icing on the cake. And then we got to spend some time in Sweden afterwards and do some touristy things. And I think all in all, since 2018 and our first trip to a world championship race, that's kind of been what we enjoy most about this sport, is getting to build upon the sport and do more than just triathlon and see the world and experience things. But hey, we get to do this sport that we love in a new country and then do all the great things that surround it.
And another great thing about being able to compete in a world championship event is that so many countries merge. And we got to meet so many of y'all that are from all over the world. So many of y'all that have been following us. It was amazing every time someone came up to us. An amazing feeling.
Yeah, that'll be probably my highest moment of the year, is just all the community and all of the engagement, and really being able to build Team Saunders into nothing that we ever imagined or dreamed of.
We're back with the blade and trimmed legs that are now about to get shaved. I just hope I don't cut myself.
Nice and smooth and even.
My hand is like literally shaking a little bit. There's so many people watching.
All in all, like, probably one of our biggest accomplishments this year wasn't even a performance. Of course, my performance leaves something to be desired this season, but I think the number one thing for me was hitting 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. This community, we just started doing this in 2020 just to kind of have something for ourselves, and then it grew and grew, and then more people started to want to know about the journey and ask questions and learn about the process. And it's been really special to say that. And I can say we don't have 1 million followers. We're not the most popular people out there, but I will tell you that out of the 1,000+ followers we have, there's a lot of people that we engage with, not just online, but we've met in person at races, and that's truly special. And you know, if this thing continues to grow, which we hope it does, that's gonna be the icing on the cake even more. But we're just happy to be able to do this and to be able to share this. It's pretty exciting.
One high I can't forget about, because it's something I never thought I would ever say that I had ever done in my lifetime. We swam 100 days in a row, and we capped it off by doing 100 100s. Oh my gosh, me not being the swimmer that I am, that was a huge accomplishment.
I've always wanted to try 100 100s, and we did it. It was actually a lot of fun, and we really prepared for it. We had plenty of nutrition. We were well stocked for doing the actual 100s. It took about 3.5 hours of our morning, and it was a nice accomplishment to say we've done it. I don't know if we'll do it again, but I'm glad to say that we checked that off the box.
Oh man. Whew.
Did it.
Oh, thanks for showing up, man.
Yeah.
Made my last 10. I feel like Lionel Sanders because I say this every year, but this year wasn't the year to do it. Next year I'm going to do it. I'm going to break sub 40 in the swim because I didn't do it this year. Not counting the downriver swims, those are not included in this. But I felt like I am a better swimmer in open water. I mean, it takes some practice to really get used to swimming in the open water. I feel confident and comfortable in the water, just gotta keep working at it. As always, we do set big goals for ourselves, and maybe 2024 will be the year that I hit that sub 40.
And for me, I want to get back to that sub 6 overall time. I'm gonna do everything within my power to make it happen, and hope that the best day is out there for me, that I can turn in that performance and have something to celebrate in my triathlon results in the season to come.